Hello, welcome back to another episode of I, Captain of My Ship. Today I like to talk about my child is so awful. It's because of my child that we are having this divorce. I want to talk about and go a little bit deeper on what it does with you as soon as you start to blame your child, and what it does to your child when you start to blame the divorce on your child. But before I go any deeper into this subject, I like to remind you, of course, on Wednesday, March 15th, from 8 till 9:30 p.m. Amsterdam time, I give a workshop on space for emotions and limits for behavior with children. So if you'd like to know more, read the description below more information. Okay, I hope to see you there. And now I like to move on with blaming your child because of this divorce. I know children can be hard sometimes, and raising children can be quite a challenge. Um, so sometimes it may sound easy just to blame someone else because of anything that happens in your life that you don't really like. But what happens with your ship as captain of your ship? As soon as you blame someone else, it's also someone else steering your ship. You're not in control anymore, and that's not what you want. As captain of your ship, it's something I believe, at least what I want to sail where I want to go. So I decide what decision I make. And when I have a child that is, when I have a hard time raising a child, then it's up to me as captain of my ship to decide if I want to change things in maybe my way of thinking or my way of acting to this child, or raising my child in a different way, or starting to read a book about parenting, or start to follow a workshop, or watch YouTube videos, or whatever things that you might think of. It's possible for me to change course and to go wherever I want to sail to. But what happens with your child? So that would be a very important thing for me, to make sure that never to blame anything to someone else. So also a divorce, don't blame someone else, especially not a child. Why not especially a child? Well, a child is very sensitive, and a child is, especially at certain age, will automatically start to blame him or herself because of this divorce. A child can start to think like, oh, if I would have listened better to mommy or daddy, or if I would have done my best at school, if I did have get better grades at school, or if I would just do something else differently, maybe my parents would have stayed together, and maybe we wouldn't have to go through this divorce. A child is easy to think these thoughts. And why is it so important as a parent to watch those thoughts and be aware that this is possible, and to stop those thoughts? What happens with a child? Why is it so easy for a child to have these thoughts? Well, it's easy for a child in certain ages because it gives something to hold on, and it can handle this better than being innocent and at mercy of an unpredictable event like a divorce. Uh, so then you might think, okay, then if it's something to hold on to, don't bother a child, don't interrupt the pattern, just let it be. No, there's a negative side of it. And that's what I want to share with you. Because what's the other side when a child has those thoughts and it's not being helped to get rid of those thoughts, then these thoughts allow a child to bottling up of possible depression, sadness, loneliness. So those are things you don't want for your child. So um, don't allow those thoughts to enter the head of your child. And if they are there because of sometimes it just happens with the child, how can you tell this to your child that it's not the fault, it's not never to blame your child? How can you tell this? Well, you can tell it in a way like, oh, I was reading a book, or I was watching a YouTube video, or I was listening to a podcast, and then a person said that some children think that it's their fault or their mistake, it's their thing to blame because of a divorce. I don't know if you think this way, but I want to make sure that um, this is not this is not in our case, because mom and dad, we both agreed on having this divorce, so it's not for you to blame. So what can you do when you're being left by the other parent and you're the one being just alone with the children? What can you say to your child? Then you can say something like, well, mommy or daddy left, but it's not your fault. It's not someone else's fault. It was something between mommy and daddy. And you know, as a parent, uh, what it is, or what it has been, or what it could have been. I mean, you know the best of everyone. I may hope what happened in your relationship. So that's those are things that you can say to a child. So I hope this really helps you and this inspires you to make sure that you never talk in a conversation with someone, talking about your divorce and blaming a child. Please stop doing that. I hope I gave you enough reasons for not blaming your child and to help your child not to have those thoughts, to stop those negative thoughts, and to make sure that your child is not to blame this divorce. Yes, I think that's it for today. I wanted to take this topic out because I think it's so important that you are aware of the situation, that this is possible for a child, and how you can handle this and how you can help your child to get rid of those negative thoughts. You can play a big role in this, and a child needs you in a situation like this. So please be there for your child. It needs you, and I know you can handle it. I know you're so much stronger than you think you are. You are very strong and very brave, and I think it's good that you are learning a lot about those subjects of divorce and children. And in the next video, I will talk about, I will make a picture and I will tell you how you can explain your child that it's still being loved by both parents after you've had this divorce. Because that's something else that a child may start to wonder. Now that we have this divorce, do both parents still love me? How do you explain this to your child? I will explain in the next video. That's it for today. Talk to you next time. Bye bye.